Hello, what's up? It's your boy Shani, and I'm back with another video. Wherever you're watching me from, thanks for tuning into my channel. I've been in Kuwait for 3 years and some months, and I've been planning to make a video about Kuwait, but I've been busy with other things. And today is just the perfect day to talk about Kuwait. So let's get started. Kuwait in general. Kuwait is in the Middle East. That is, it borders Iraq, Saudi for the most part. Yeah, I don't know the other country, but I think it's the sea also. It borders the sea, the Arabian Sea. Skyscrapers and nice road, nice people, and the weather in. Because let me just say this quick. Whenever sometimes I go, I make friends, the first question they ask me is, especially if they are not Africans or if they are not black, is, excuse me, if I can ask you this question. I say, okay, go ahead. Then they will be like, why are you so dark? Is your country very hot? And I'm like, no, I was born this way. This is how my mom, my dad, everybody in my family look like. It's natural. I didn't tan myself, or it's not because I work in the sun. That's how I look like, and everybody in my country looks like this. We are black people. We are from Africa. I say, okay. And then I'll tell them, by the way, Kuwait is maybe 2 times hotter than where I'm from. That is Ghana, because Ghana, the highest temperature we will record is maybe 34. That is 34 degrees. But the people here are not black people, so how come? So naturally, it doesn't matter where you live, because Kuwait is very hot and the people are still Arabs. They are brown skinned people. Anyway, let's go back to the reason I'm doing this video. I'm gonna talk about Kuwait, the people, the weather, and probably how things work here, like maybe racism and other things. Because as a black person, if I don't talk about racism, maybe you say you ask me to do a video about it again. So let's go to the weather. In Kuwait, they have 2 types of weather, that is winter and summer. And as I'm making this video, we are in summer. It's very hot, and temperatures for today is around maybe 50+ degrees. That is degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Okay, it's very hot here in the summer. That is because there are no trees. It's a desert country. There are no trees, so basically there's nothing, and there's a lot of AC. Every building here has AC. Every little hut, even I can tell you on the road, where the traffic officers stand to control traffic, there is AC. So you can imagine there's AC everywhere. And I think this is also one of the reasons there is a lot of heat, because the hot air is always outside from the AC and from cars and all this vehicles. So for the most part, we have 6 months of heat, and then 6 months of winter that is cold. Well, that's how Kuwait is. That is the weather. And sometimes there is this sandstorm. It's occasional. Sometimes out of nowhere there will be a lot of dust from the desert, and it's sometimes awesome to experience these things. I worked in the desert before, in the middle of the desert, and I always it was a good experience, although it was very scary, because you can get blind from the sandstorm, but I always cover up and experience it. It's a wonderful experience. So that's it about the weather. Let's talk about the environment and the work. Mostly people here, everybody here is working, especially the expats, like the foreigners. Everybody, you must have a job. You must have a job. This is not a country where you come and be a refugee. There's no refugee status here or anything of that sort. You must work. I've never come across a foreigner here that has a broken leg and on food aid or government aid. I've never come across that. You must be healthy and work, and you must always be of good behavior. There's just a little mistake, you get deported. So that is what you should know. And you should be serious at work, because if you get fired, obviously you're going back to your country. That is it about Kuwait. So Kuwait is a work ground. You don't come here because you want to come and relax, and no, this, you have to go to work. You work 6 days a week, 1 day off for 8 hours daily. And so workplace, it varies from person to person or work to work. For the most part, you're only going to be spending 8 hours at work, and then you come home and relax. There are no places to go. If you have friends, good job, you can go out with your friends and hang out basically at the mall, and because I don't see people, it's obviously hot, so there are no people in the streets, and there are no clubs, there are no, basically you just work. So that's it, you work, and when you're off, you go to the mall or you stay at home and watch movies. That's what we do here. Let's talk about the people. Most of your friends as an expat will be expats, maybe Indian, maybe Filipino friend, maybe Egyptian if you are into Arab, or if you speak Arab, you have Egyptians and as your friends, or your fellow Africans. I have, for the most part, my friend is an African. Of course I'm African, so I hang out with Africans. I also have Egyptian friends at work a lot. My workplace, I have a lot of Egyptians as friends. We always talk about football and all that. So that's it. If you're here, you'll be exposed to different nationalities, and that is a good thing about being in Kuwait. And for the Kuwaitis, I've never had a Kuwaiti friend. I have only Kuwaiti bosses that I work with, and most of the time they are nice people, especially the young ones. They are very open-minded and they like people. They are very good people. And if you happen to have a good boss you work with, you're going to enjoy your stay here. However, if you have a Kuwaiti that is not, you are not going to enjoy the place. That is it. So it's all up to whoever you come to meet. That's how Kuwait is. What else? Okay, let's talk about racism. Is there racism here? Well, that's a tough question, because it will vary from person to person, and it's known that black people are the people are actually racist towards. And so I, being a black person, I will answer this question based on my experience and as a black person. You see, in Kuwait, 100 out of 100, as a black person, you will never come across a person hating you because you are black. That will never happen to you, and I'm telling you this, that will never happen to you. You only have these coggy people. There are a lot of people who are so pompous and so, what I mean, like people who like to shout and all. That is not racism. That is just the person's behavior. That is not racism. Arrogant people, let me put it that way. That way you come across a lot of people, and that is not about being black or being Indian or what. There are a lot of arrogant people here. I don't know whether it's because of work or stress or whatever, I don't know, but there are a lot of people here who like to shout. And most of the time, if you are working at customer service, or if you're a salesperson, you come across these people often. But it's not racism. Once you deal with the situation, the person goes, you are free, then you continue your work. No one will come at you and say, why are you here, you foreigner, you this. No, that will never happen. And talking about racism, here the Kuwaitis are very welcoming when it comes to food. Kuwaiti can beg you to eat his food. That is one thing I have experienced about Kuwaitis. Okay, they will beg you to eat their food, really beg you, come and eat. They will try to, you know, they like to do that, and that is a very positive thing, because once the person is willing to eat with their hand, they don't use spoon. I've never come across a Kuwaiti that use spoon to eat. These people are very traditional people. They eat with their God-gifted spoon, S-P-O-O-N. That's what they eat with. So they will just basically wash their hand clean, you know, like the way we do in Africa. It's the same thing. You wash your hand and then you eat in a big bowl with people. Maybe sometimes you could be 7, 8. I've eaten with 7 people, like, you know, everybody around. And sometimes I happen to be the black person, and they're all Arabs, so that is a good thing. They are not racist, and they will be pushing you to eat, like, you know, they're telling you eat. So for that part, I will tell you they are not racist. For racism, no, you will never experience racism. There are a lot of arrogant people, that one is for sure, you come across that. But for racism, I have never come across racism. That's how Kuwait is. If you are lucky to come across a very good Kuwaiti, you will enjoy the place. But if you are working with people who are not welcoming, I will not say racist there, because for racism, no, then you will not enjoy the place. So that's it. That's my honest video. I've been in Kuwait for so long, for 3 years. I know how it is, and so that's my humble opinion. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos. Bye bye.